everybody? Facts the deal. My name is Mike Fields, also known as Facts, and welcome to another episode of Black Facts. Oh yes, this is where I get to celebrate Black History Month 2022 in my own special way. You already know, folks. Today is Sunday, February 27th, 2022. And I am so pleased, proud, and excited to celebrate the greatest actor of all time. The greatest actor of all time. The greatest actor of all time, the GOAT. And his name is the one, the only, Mr. Denzel Washington. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give it up for Denzel. Oh, yeah. You see it. You see it. Now, shout out to the burgundy and gold, but I had to rock the hat because it said Washington on it. I figured it might be a clue. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now, folks, we're not in the museum today. We're on location. I don't have my rusty, trusty laptop, but I do have another device that's going to help me show you guys how I did the research on Mr. Washington. That's my main man right there. My biggest acting inspiration, my biggest inspiration for acting, Michael Jackson and my dad with music, Denzel with acting. It's just that simple. Facts. Now, I will say this. There's a lot of information on Denzel. A whole lot. And you know how I found out? I Googled him. Oh, yes. Now, I did it both ways. I Googled Denzel because he is a one-name wonder. Just Google Denzel. Or Denzel Washington. Either way. Just about the same information comes up. I'm going to do Denzel Washington. That's his name. All right? Anything else I'm forgetting? Oh, yes. By the way, we are listening to the instrumental version of I Know by Pharrell and Jay-Z, and that's coming from the American Gangster soundtrack. You see that right there? Yeah. That's why the lyrics are, I didn't do the lyrical version. So, anyway... Yes, check out the soundtrack. Please be of age. If not, parental advisory is surely warranted. Facts. So goes now, because he is the GOAT. You know what I did. All caps. Oh yes. Let's go. So go into Google. All right. Google is up. Let's go. All caps for the GOAT, Mr. Denzel Washington. Facts. So goes capital DENZEL space capital WASHINGTON. Hit enter on that Jane. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. There's so much information, man. IMDb.com, Wikipedia, man, what else? People, man, Britannica.com, Variety.com, so it's people.com, let's see, CNN.com. He's all over the place, man. Check him out. He's a living legend, all right? He's the man. So look, I'm going to get into the research. You know what time it is. Are you ready? Once again, the GOAT, Sir Denzel Washington. There's American Gangster right there. There's Flight, Magnificent Seven, Malcolm X. Oh yes. Glory. Yes sir. Get into it. Courage Under Fire, Out of Time, Fallen, Training Day. I mean the hits just go on and on, man. The Equalizer. The Equalizer Two. Come on, man. That's my guy, yo. Alright. Let's get into it. Let me go back to American Gangster. Alright. So goes Denzel Hayes Washington Jr. Denzel Hayes. Denzel Hayes, that's capital Hayes, Washington Jr. Was born in Mount Vernon, New York on December 28th, 1954. His mother, Linus, also known as Lynn, was a beauty parlor owner and operator born in Georgia and partly raised in Harlem, New York. See, there we go with Harlem again. Okay? Facts. All these links, y'all. All right. His father, Denzel Hayes Washington Sr., a native of Buckingham County, Virginia. Yes, sir. VA is in the house all day, every day. 2 up, 2 down, baby. Was an ordained Pentecostal minister who was also an employee of the New York City Water Department and worked at a local S. Klein department store. Let's back up a little bit. An ordained minister. Denzel's a PK, preacher's kid. How do I relate to that? My dad. Yes, sir. Old Blue. PK, baby. All the way. I just be getting hyped, man, when I find these links between myself and whoever I'm celebrating. It's a good feeling. Oh, also of note, Buckingham County, Virginia is also the birthplace of the brother Dr. Carter G. Woodson, who is the father of Black history. He's known as the father of Black history and the creator of Negro History Week, which is the precursor to Black History Month. You see how all these connections are happening? It's just like that, man. It's like that. Virginia roots. Come on, bro. I knew I love this dude, man. This is my man, yo. Yes. I like him. Let's go. So goes. Now, Denzel attended Pennington Grimes Elementary School in Mount Vernon until 1968. When he was 14, his parents divorced and his mother sent him to the private preparatory school, Oakland Military Academy in New Windsor, New York. Now, later in life, Denzel said that decision to send him to another school changed his life because he wouldn't have survived in the direction that he was going. The guys that he was hanging out with at the time, his running buddies, have now done maybe 40 years combined in the penitentiary at that time that he was saying this during the interview. He said that they were nice guys, but the streets got to them. Now, I tell my students, we're talking about friends, all right? And guidance now. As I mentioned before, we're talking about friends, okay? And I mentioned that one of my best friends in elementary school, to the heart, my brother, we just went 2 different paths. Now, we ended up going, to different middle schools and different high schools. Well, we went to the same high school. We went to different middle schools because of where we lived. But once we got to high school, I noticed that he changed a lot. It was, I don't know what happened during middle school, but he just, his behavior and everything, he was in fights and he started getting caught up in, drugs and got arrested and all that. So he ended up getting kicked out of school. And, he wound up in prison. And I tell my kids that story, my students that story, because I believe it's important for them to know that they need to be careful with who they associate themselves with. It's a thought process. It's to be conscious of who I surround myself with, who's in my circle. It's very important to do that. And that's not to say that, somebody's better than another person. That's not it. But to just know, to be self-aware, to honor and value life, my life, their lives, and to just be aware of their behaviors and what they allow to happen to them and around them at all times. Just to take value in their own lives. Period. All right. And that's what Denzel's mom was doing when she switched schools for him. She saw the value in him and removed him from a situation where she could see it wasn't going to end up good. So shout out to all the great parents out there who are willing to make that kind of move and to just step in and stand up for the lives of their children. It's very important. So once again, invest in the children. All right, at all costs, invest in our youth. Period. Shout out to great parents like mine. Facts! Oh, yes. After Oakland, he attended Mainland High School in Daytona Beach, Florida from 1970 to 1971. By the way, I still love my brother. That's not the point. I love my brother. All my brothers. It's just I use that example just for my students to know to be careful, to always be aware of their behaviors and how they allow themselves to be influenced, because I see it and I have to speak to it. Facts. All right. Here we go. He earned a BA, a Bachelor of Arts degree in Drama and Journalism from Fordham University in 1977. At Fordham. I didn't know this, but Denzel Washington played collegiate basketball as a guard under then coach P.J. Carlesimo. Now, P.J. Carlesimo is, let's see, I did some research on P.J. Carlesimo. He's an American basketball coach. He coached both in the National Basketball Association, the NBA, and in college for nearly 40 years. All right, let's see. He was Seton Hall University's Coach of the Century. He was also an assistant coach on the United States men's Olympic basketball team, known as the Dream Team. So here we come back with the Dream Team, because before we were talking about who? Michael Jordan and him being on the Dream Team. Lynx, baby. We're talking about the Lynx. And they won the gold medal, of course. He was also an assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs team that won 3 championships between 2003 and 2007. So this dude has a gold medal. He's coach of the century in college, and he's got 3 NBA Finals rings. This dude, he's awesome. And Denzel played for him. Denzel was nice. Had to have been nice. Back to the research. I'm just saying, man. My man Denzel is just, he's a virtuoso. He can do it all. He's a GOAT. After a period of indecision on what major to study and taking a semester off, Denzel worked as creative arts director of the overnight summer camp at Camp Sloan YMCA in Lakeville, Connecticut. He participated in a staff talent show for the campers, and a colleague suggested he try acting. Shout out to great colleagues, great co-workers, folks that inspire us while we're on the job, folks who see stuff in us and just say something like, man, you ever thought about, because you're really good, like that kind of thing. I love it. Shout out. We need that. We need more of that in the world, for real. Enough with the selfishness and the ego and the pride and the hate and all that, and and the shade. Come on, man. Obviously, we need levity. We need love. Obviously. So let's go ahead and get it, man. It's up to us. Facts. All right. Returning to Fordham now. So after that suggestion, that lit a fire, dude. And returning to Fordham that fall with a renewed purpose. That the encounter where the colleague suggested he try acting, that was over the summer. That was at the summer camp. So now he's returning to Fordham after taking some time off. He's returning now with a renewed purpose. That fire, baby. Denzel Washington enrolled at the Lincoln Center campus to study acting. Yes. Where he was cast in the title roles in Eugene O'Neill's The Emperor Jones and Shakespeare's Othello. Shakespearean work, man. It's hard. I think it's hard. But certainly it's doable, and he did it. And he's still doing it. We'll get to that. He then attended graduate school at the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco, California. So the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco, California, where he stayed for 1 year before returning to New York to begin a professional acting career. Wow. On fire, dude. Man on Fire. I think that's one of his films. There it is, Man on Fire right there. He was on fire. He said, I'm coming back and I'm doing this thing. I love it. Denzel Washington spent the summer of 1976 in St. Mary's City in Maryland. So, summer of 1976, he was in St. Mary's City in Maryland. Shout out to the DMV. We're all over this thing right now. In the Summer Stock Theater, performing Wings of the Morning at the Maryland State Play, which was written for him by incorporating an African-American character, narrator based loosely on the historical figure from early colonial Maryland, Matthias de Souza. Nice. Shortly after graduating from Fordham, Denzel Washington made his screen acting debut in the 1977 made-for-TV film Wilma, and his first Hollywood appearance in the 1981 film Carbon Copy. I think that's on there too. All right. He shared a 1982 Distinguished Ensemble Performance Obie Award for playing Private First Class Melvin Pearson in the off-Broadway Negro Ensemble Company production called A Soldier's Story. Check out A Soldier's Story. Now, it's a soldier's play that turned into a soldier's story. So the original was A Soldier's Play. I got excited. I jumped ahead of myself. I first saw A Soldier's Story. My dad, it came on TV, network television, of course, and my dad recorded it while we were at school. We came home and he said, "Hey, y'all watch this." And so, shout out to my dad for putting us on again. That was my introduction to Denzel Washington. I didn't know it at the time, but Peterson, the character in A Soldier's Play or A Soldier's Story, I mean, his whole demeanor, it was just like, he was one of the centers of attraction and centers of attention in that movie, because every time he came on screen, my eyes were glued to him, trying to figure him out. Everybody else was kind of just out there, but just trying to figure him out. Like, what is he good? Is he bad? Like, what's going on with this guy? It was just. That was just his appeal, and I appreciate that. Shout out to my dad once again. Love you, Blue. All right, so that was A Soldier's Play that premiered November 20th, 1981. All right, a major career break came when he starred as Dr. Philip Chandler in NBC's television hospital drama Saint Elsewhere, which ran from 1982 to 1988. He was one of only a few African-American actors to appear on the series for its entire 6-year run. Wow. He also appeared in several television, motion picture, and stage roles, such as the films A Soldier's Story. See, that's what I was just talking about. That was in 1984. Hard Lessons in 1986, and Power, which is also 1986. So, A Soldier's Play, that was in 1981, and A Soldier's Story was in 1984, and that's the one I saw. Facts. On June 25th, 1983, Denzel married Pauletta Pearson. Oh yes. Whom he met on the set of his first screen work, the television film Wilma. That's dope, man. Yes, sir. He found her while he was working. It's an important value. That's a valuable lesson that my father taught me a long time ago. So to see that is dope, man. It's dope. They have 4 children. John David Washington, who is also an actor and a former football player. So he got that athleticism from guess who? Pops. I think it's safe to assume he got it from mom too. I don't know. But right here it says dad was a baller, shot caller, running the guard for PJ Carlissimo. And now John David Washington, his son, is also an actor and a football player. All right. Katia, who graduated from Yale University with a Bachelor of Arts in 2010, and twins. So Denzel has 4 children. 2 of them are twins. Olivia, who played a role in Lee Daniels' film The Butler, and Malcolm, a graduate from the University of Pennsylvania with a degree in film studies. So it's like, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. They're all somehow involved in the arts. I'm not really sure about Katia, if she's involved with the arts. But definitely Olivia, Malcolm, and John David are performers. Nice. In 1987, he starred as South African anti-apartheid social activist Stephen Biko in Richard Attenborough's Cry Freedom, for which he received a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. That's a nomination, bro, for an Oscar. Though, in 1989, Denzel won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his portrayal of a defiant former slave who became a soldier in the film Glory. That's one of my favorite movies too, man. Like, he's got some classic scenes in that movie. Single Tear. Oh, man. Alright, anyway, let's keep going. Alright. Also in 1989, he appeared in the film The Mighty Quinn and in For Queen and Country. Let's back up to the kids real quick. Now, I said that they're all performers. They may not be all performers, but they're definitely involved. At least 3 of the 4 that I know of are involved in the arts, period. And they definitely get that from mom and dad. Straight up. Alright? Moving right along. I just felt like I needed to correct that real quick. Shout out to the kids. Oh, yes. And just like me, you know what I mean? It's parents, 2 parents, 4 kids. It's like my family, yo. Facts. I mean, I'm finding the links, man. You gotta, I gotta do it, man. Let's go. Let's go. It's all about the facts, baby. All right, now. In the summer of 1990, Denzel appeared in the title role of the Public Theater's production of William Shakespeare's Richard III. So here goes some more Shakespearean stuff. Man, killing it, yo. In 1990, here we go. In 1990, Denzel starred as Bleak Gilliam in Spike Lee's film Mo Better Blues. You better believe that's one of my favorite movies of all time. The music in that joint, the acting. I mean, it's just. Let me see if I can find that real quick. It's gotta be over here somewhere. I know I saw it before. Oh, not that way, not that way. Maybe up here. No, that's not it. Oh, we'll get to it. It's somewhere down here. There we go. Mo Better Blues right there. Ha! Bleak, baby. Bleak! Oh, yes. Let's see. Here we go. In 1991, he starred as Demetrius Williams in the romantic drama Mississippi Masala. Mississippi Masala. Now, at the time when we saw it as now my parents let us see it as as kids, we just thought it was hilarious. Like so many parts in that movie, we just thought it was hilarious. But that's a classic. That's why I got a smile on that one, just because of the funny parts in that movie. But anyway, another great movie. On May 18th, 1991. Denzel was awarded an honorary doctorate from his alma mater, Fordham University, for having impressively succeeded in exploring the edge of his multifaceted talent. Wow. Such wording. But it's deep and it's true. And that's early in his career. 1991, that's early in his career. We're going to keep it moving to see how far he takes that. Oh, yes. In 1992... Where we at? Here we go. In 1992, Denzel Washington was reunited with the homie Spike Lee. Shout out to Spike Lee. Please do your research on Spike Lee, please. To play one of his most critically acclaimed roles, the title character of 1992's Malcolm X. I'm trying to tell you, before there was Jamie Foxx with Ray, there was Denzel with Malcolm X. I believe he set the bar so high that only Jamie Foxx could do something that was even close to that level. This film, here we go. His performance earned him another nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actor. He should have won that. He should have won that. Now that right there, that's definitely the snub of the century. For real. He should have gotten that. Black Panther should have gotten Best Film. Denzel should have gotten Best Actor, period. It's just facts. The power in it. Please do research on Malcolm X. That's capital, all caps. Alright? All caps. Capital. MALCOLM space X. Malcolm X. Look him up. Research. Yes, sir. All right. Also in 1992, Denzel established the production company Monday Lane Entertainment. Oh yes. In 1993, Denzel played the lawyer of a gay man with AIDS in the film Philadelphia. I remember that was a huge deal when it first came out. It's Denzel and Sir Tom Hanks. Look up Tom Hanks, all right? T-O-M Hanks, H-A-N-K-S, all right? Tom Hanks, oh yes. During the capital T-O-M, space, capital H-A-N-K-S. All right. During the early and mid-1990s, Denzel starred in several successful thrillers, including The Pelican Brief with Julia Roberts in 1993 and Crimson Tide with Gene Hackman in 1995, as well as the Shakespearean comedy Much Ado About Nothing. He keeps dipping back into the Shakespearean pot because it's a part of his training. It's a part of his thing. He loves it. He loves the stage. He loves the theater. See, what I love about Denzel is he's definitely an actor through and through. That's why he can talk about it. He has no problem talking about what it takes to be an actor. He's the number one. And everybody has their own path, and he recognizes that. But he's been trained. He knows what he's talking about. So please do the research on Denzel. Watch his videos on YouTube, not just his movies, but when he goes to different schools and speaks, especially to any kind of performing arts groups, where he's just having just like a rap session, like a cipher, just like encouraging them. He's encouraging the folks when he does his graduation commencement speeches. How he just encourages folks that he just met. Anyway, just do the research, please, man. Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself, all right? Facts. Here we go. In 1995, Denzel and his wife renewed their wedding vows, in South Africa with Bishop Desmond Tutu officiating. All right? Please do your research on Bishop Desmond Tutu. That is capital D-E-S-M-O-N-D space, capital T-U-T-U. Desmond Tutu. Matter of fact, do that all caps for the one and only Desmond Tutu. All caps, yes. He officiated them, Denzel and his wife, Pauletta, renewing their wedding vows in South Africa. Facts. In 1995, Denzel donated $2.5 million to help build the new West Angeles Church of God in Christ facility. The new West Angeles Church of God in Christ facility in Los Angeles. Oh, yes. In 1996, he played a U.S. Army officer who investigates a female chopper commander's worthiness for the Medal of Honor and Courage Under Fire. In 1996 as well, he appeared with Whitney Houston in the romantic comedy The Preacher's Wife. Oh yes, check out The Preacher's Wife. Please do your research on Whitney Houston. That is capital. This is all caps because she's the greatest singer. I believe she's the greatest singer, the greatest female vocalist, maybe the greatest vocalist of all time. Whitney Houston. Capital, all caps. W-H-I-T-N-E-Y space. Houston. Capital H-O-U-S-T-O-N. Whitney Houston. Please do your research on Whitney Houston. Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. All right? Now, let's see. Da-da-da. Oh yes, here we go. In 1998, Denzel starred in Spike Lee's film He Got Game. Okay? The film was Washington's third collaboration with Spike Lee and his first collaboration with the great one, Mr. Ray Allen. Oh yes. And check out Ray Allen too. He's a retired NBA champion and definitely one of the best shooters, especially behind the three-point line. He's one of the best three-point shooters of all time. Straight up. I know we celebrate, Steph. All right? And we should. But before Steph, Ray Allen. Yes, sir. And a bunch of others, but certainly Ray Allen. And he's co-starring with Denzel in He Got Game. Another Spike Lee joint. Oh, yes. Shout out. All right, now. In 1998 as well, Denzel starred in Gregory Holblitz's supernatural horror, the film Fallen. Okay? In 1999, Denzel starred in The Hurricane, a film about boxer Reuben Hurricane Carter. He received a Golden Globe Award in 2000 and a Silver Bear Award at the Berlin International Film Festival. Okay. Also in 1999, Denzel starred alongside Angelina Jolie in the film The Bone Collector, which also featured Queen Latifah. Alright, so check that out. Research Queen Latifah. That is all caps for the Queen. Oh yes, to the Queen. That is capital Queen space capital Latifah. Queen Latifah. Oh yes. Do the research, folks. Facts. All right. Here we go. Denzel Washington is a devout Christian and has considered becoming a preacher. Okay, and like when I see him doing the private talks with with his acting crew or theater group or whoever it may be, he sounds very pastoral. Like he sounds like he's praying or preaching. Like it's very familiar to me. I mean, being a PK, like the cadence and everything, his tone. Very powerful, and I'll get into my personal, because I have a personal interaction with Denzel that I'm gonna share later on. But yeah, it's so cool now that I know he's a PK. Like, it makes sense. We'll get into it. Moving on. He stated in 1999. He said, "A part of me still says, maybe Denzel, you're supposed to preach." He says it to himself. Maybe you're supposed to preach. Maybe you're still compromising. This is him talking about himself, what he says to himself. Maybe, Denzel, you're supposed to preach. Maybe you're compromising. And he says that I've had an opportunity to play great men and through their words to preach. I take what talent I've been given seriously and I want to use it for good. Denzel says he reads the Bible daily. Now in 2000, Denzel appeared in the Disney film Remember the Titans, which grossed over $100 million in the U.S. That's Northern Virginia, all right? T.C. Williams, that's a high school in Northern Virginia. VA, once again, 2 up, 2 down. Representing all through this whole thing. Facts, let's go. At the 57th Golden Globe Awards, Denzel won the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama for his work in The Hurricane. Oh yes. He was the first black actor to win the award since Sidney Poitier did in 1963. Shout out to Sidney Poitier. Again, please do your research on Brother Poitier. That is cap. He's all caps. Now, he's somebody I could also say is the GOAT as well. All right? The greatest actor of all time as well. I'm rolling with Denzel, though. That is capital SIDNEY space. Capital POITIER. All right? Let's see here. Denzel won an Academy Award for Best Actor for the 2001 cop thriller, Training Day. I know I got that on here. Let's see, Training Day, Training Day, Training Day, Training Day. There we go. I can't, I'm trying to work on the laugh. Yes, sir. All right. Shout out to everybody who does the imitations, man. He's often imitated, but never, ever, ever duplicated. He's GOAT, man. He's one of them. Denzel is one of one, period. But there are a lot of people who can do the Denzel impression like top notch. Yeah. You know who you are, straight up. Especially my main man, Jay Farrow, who is also from, you guessed it, Virginia, baby. Shout out to Jay Farrow. Yes, sir. All right. Now, he was the second African-American actor to win the category after Sidney Poitier, who was presented with an honorary Academy Award the same night. So you had two GOATs accepting awards. Very significant moment in our history. Oh, yes. After appearing in 2002 box office successes, John Q. After appearing in 2002 box office success, John Q. Denzel directed his first film called Antoine Fisher, in which he also co-starred. All right, so we got John Q. Very emotional, like gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching movie. All the heartstrings, all the tears for John in that movie, John Q. Crazy, yo. Very emotional. Check that out. Check out John Q. Q period, all right? John, capital John, space, capital Q period. That's John Q. And also Antoine Fisher, all right? Capital Antwone, space, Fisher, capital Fisher. And that's the film that was his directorial debut. Antoine Fisher. Straight up. Dope. Alright. Now, between 2003 and 2004, Denzel appeared in a series of thrillers that performed generally well at the box office, including Out of Time, Man on Fire, and The Manchurian Candidate. And all three of those movies are dope. Straight up. Check them all out. Do the research, man. Just do a binge on Denzel Washington. How about that? You won't be disappointed. I know I'm never disappointed. My main man right there. That's the movie Fallen right there. Man on Fire just talked about. Oh yes. Here's John Q right here. Oh yes. All right. Now, in 2006, he starred in Inside Man, which is another Spike Lee joint. Spike Lee directed. This is a bank heist thriller co-starring Jodie Foster and Clive Owen, and that was released in March. And he also did Deja Vu. All right, there's another film called Deja Vu. So we had Inside Man and Deja Vu. All right, that was both in 2006. In 2007, Denzel co-starred with Russell Crowe for the second time in Ridley Scott's American Gangster. Now, where was that? Was that up here? There we go. Boom. American Gangster. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Let's see. He also directed and starred in the drama The Great Debaters with Forest Whitaker. So that's another movie, The Great Debaters, that he also directed and starred in. And this time he's co-starring with brother Forest Whitaker, who was also in Black Panther. All of these connections, baby. Come on now. It's like that on Black Facts. Oh, yes. Black Facts. Yeah. All about the connection, baby. The facts. Oh, yes. Please research Forest Whitaker. He's another one of the GOATs. All caps, capital Forest, space. And that's Whitaker. So capital Forest, space. Whitaker. Capital Whitaker. All right. On May 20th, 2007, Denzel Washington received an honorary doctorate of humanities from Morehouse College. Once again, Morehouse College is mentioned doing my research. Oh yes, it's like that. Please do the research on Morehouse College. All right. Why am I mentioning Morehouse College? Was researched. Why am I mentioning that? It was already mentioned in my research. Who else has a link to Morehouse College that I've celebrated? Dr. Martin Luther King. Facts. Yes. All these connections, man. Oh yes. In 2009, brother Denzel appeared in Tony Scott's film The Taking of Pelham 123, where he played New York City subway security chief Walter Garber opposite of John Travolta. And John Travolta was the villain in that movie. All right. Research John Travolta. That's John, capital John, space, Travolta, capital Travolta. In 2005, he appeared on stage again as Brutus in a Broadway production of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar, he was Brutus in Julius Caesar. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, here we go. In the spring of 2010, Denzel played Troy Maxson opposite Viola Davis in the Broadway revival of August Wilson's Fences, for which he won a Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play on June 13th, 2010. Let's see if we got Fences up here. I thought I saw it. Fences. Let's carry on. Did I see it earlier? No. I thought I saw Fences up here. Nope. Maybe I did. I just can't find it. Well, it's on here somewhere. He's got so many. There we go. All right. Facts. Make me think I'm going crazy. Fences, yo. Definitely watch Fences. Definitely check out Fences, all right? Oh, and shout out to Viola Davis. One of the GOATs. All caps. Viola Davis. Capital VIOLA space. Capital DAVIS. Also, please check out Brother August Wilson. Research August Wilson. August, just like the month. All caps though. Capital AUGUST space. Capital WILSON. August Wilson. Please do the research, folks. Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Alright? From April to June in 2014, Denzel played the leading role in the Broadway production of Lorraine Hansberry's classic. That's crazy, dude. A Raisin in the Sun. Such a classic moment. I remember everybody was going crazy once they found out Denzel was going to be doing A Raisin in the Sun. I remember it was just headlines everywhere because a lot of people didn't know that he was a stage performer. You know what I'm saying? Like, matter of fact, that might have been the first time I realized that he's a stage, like a thespian, when he announced that he was going to do A Raisin in the Sun. And that was directed by Kenny Leon. All right. Now, the show received positive reviews and won the 2014 Tony Award for Best Revival of a Play. Nice. Beginning March 22nd of 2018, Denzel starred as Theodore Hickey Hickman in a Broadway revival of Eugene O'Neill's The Iceman Cometh. All right. Let's see. In 2010, Denzel starred in The Book of Eli. Yes, sir. Now, that's definitely one of my dad's favorite movies. One of my favorite movies of Denzel's. Let's see. Book of Eli. That was a soldier. So this is a soldier story right here. All right. Starring Denzel Washington. Oh, yes. Howard E. Rollins. Where did I see? Oh, it's not right there. Yeah. Oh, that's Remember the Titans right there. Inside Man, He Got Game, Bone Crusher. I'm sorry, the Bone Crusher, the Bone Collector, Antoine Fisher, Mo Better Blues, Crimson Tide, Manchurian Candidate, Philadelphia, Pelican Brief, Carbon Copy. These are all the movies that just come up when I, mention Denzel Washington. Okay, the Book of Eli is on here too, but I just can't seem to find it. Oh, maybe it's over here. Nope, not over there. See. What's the Book of Eli? Oh, here we go. Book of Eli. Boom. Just look. See, that's the thing about research, man. Just because I don't see it within a given time frame, I can't rush it. Don't rush the flow. It's right there waiting for you, baby. The Book of Eli. Definitely check out the Book of Eli. I think this book right here, just reading or doing the research now, I think it says so much about Denzel and why he chose this role. I think it spoke to him in terms of who he actually is. Just watch the movie. Just check it out. All right. Let's see. And also in 2010, he starred as a veteran railroad engineer in the action film Unstoppable. In 2011, Denzel donated $2 million to Fordham University for an endowed share of the theater department, as well as $250,000 to establish a theater-specific scholarship at the school. Nice. On May 16, 2011, Denzel received an honorary Doctor of Arts degree from the University of Pennsylvania. Oh, yes. In 2012, Denzel starred in Flight, for which he was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance as an alcoholic airline pilot facing investigation for his part in an airplane crash. Oh, yes. Denzel co-starred with Ryan Reynolds in Safe House, where he prepared for his role by subjecting himself to a torture session that included waterboarding. I'm talking about going all in. Method acting, whatever you want to call it. He actually put himself through that because of, the scenes in the movie where, anyway, check out the movie Safe House if it's appropriate, if it's age appropriate, check it out. That's what I'm going to say for all these movies. If it's age appropriate, because a lot of it is not. I say a lot of it is not. Okay? That's just me. But that's not up to me. I'm just saying, he's the greatest of all time. So, his material is available. That's all I'm going to say. Like that. Alright. Here we go. In 2013, Denzel starred in Two Guns alongside Mr. Mark Wahlberg. Oh yes. In 2014, he starred in The Equalizer, an action thriller film directed by Antoine Fuqua and written by Richard Wink. Please look up Antoine Fuqua. Alright? Antoine. All caps. He's one of the GOATs. He's one of the best directors of all time. Capital Antoine space Fuqua. Capital Fuqua. No doubt. Facts. In 2016, Denzel starred in The Magnificent Seven, a remake of the 1960 Western film of the same name. In 2016, Denzel directed the film Fences, co-starring Viola Davis, based on August Wilson's play of the same name. We already talked about that. All right. In 2017, Denzel Washington starred in the legal drama film Roman J. Israel Esquire. Roman J. Israel Esquire. I think that came up. Roman J. Israel Esquire. Let me see. Yeah. So that's Fences right there again. There's Fences. And that's Roman J. See, you see the look? That's a different look from my main man Denzel. But it's a very similar look to what he did in He Got Game. You see the look? It's almost like all he did was add glasses and shave. Use the test to take the test. Genius, man. Oh, yes. Roman J. Israel Esquire. Oh, yes. His performance in this movie led to nominations for a Golden Globe Award, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and an Academy Award. Washington's 9th Oscar nomination overall, and his 6th for Best Actor. Go. In 2018, Denzel reprised his role in his first sequel, The Equalizer 2. So The Equalizer 2 is on here. I know I just saw it a few seconds ago. Boom. Oh yeah, Equalizer 2. Equalizer 1, that's the first one. Shaved head. Equalizer 2. My man, though. That's my dude. Alright. In 2021, Denzel portrayed the titular character in the 2021 film adaptation of the William Shakespeare tragedy, Macbeth. Once again, William Shakespeare. He received universal acclaim for his performance and was nominated for several awards, including a Golden Globe Award, a Satellite Award, and a Screen Actors Guild Award, the SAG Award. Oh, yes. Also in 2021, Denzel directed the drama A Journal for Jordan, based on the memoir A Journal for Jordan, a story of love and honor by Dana Kennedy. Denzel has served as the national spokesman for the Boys and Girls Clubs of America since 1993 and has appeared in public service announcements and awareness campaigns for the organization. That's facts. He always shouts out the Boys and Girls Club. In addition, Denzel Washington has served as a board member for the Boys and Girls Clubs of America since 1995. Now, due to his philanthropic work with the Boys and Girls Club PS17X, a New York City elementary school decided to officially name their school after him. Oh man, you better do that. That's what's up. Yes, sir. And rightfully so, man. He's the GOAT. He never forgets where he come from, for real. On October 11th, 2021, the United States Army made Denzel Washington the 2021 Honorary Sergeant Major of the Army at the Annual Association of the U.S. Army Conference for his work with the Fisher House Foundation, which is a program that focuses on building homes for military personnel and their families free of charge while they receive medical care. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my research portion. Through the internet. Now, my empirical research includes my personal encounter with Denzel Washington. There was a time where I was grinding in New York. I was, commuting from here in VA to Manhattan, to Brooklyn, to Jersey City, trying to get a record deal. Straight up, I was doing sleeping on couches. Shout out to my fraternity brothers, Josh and Fred. oYES. My line brothers, man, they looked out for me. Shout out to JD, Miss D, and Mr. D. They looked out for me. Just being able to stay on their couches and like grind, shout out to my main man Phil Jackson. Got to link up with him as well. I crashed with him a couple times when he was living in New York, and now he's doing great things as far as writing and producing. He's just another virtuoso, man. Another one of the GOATs. He's a young GOAT. Check out Phil Jackson. All right. Now, I remember I was performing in the Village. It was a place called the Village Underground, and I was just doing open mics. I was told about it. I can't remember who told me about the Village Underground. I think it was one of my friends. They put me on. They said, Mike, you need to come up here and say the Village Underground. I don't know if it was Kaz. I don't know who it was. But I followed the advice. I showed up, and this was between 2005, 2007. I was just going back and forth from Virginia to New York. And my very first night in the Village Underground, I just observed what was going on. And it felt like everybody in the audience could sing. And I didn't really know where I was. I didn't know who I was amongst, but I was amongst like the most talented musicians, like touring musicians, singers, vocalists. I mean, it was like being back home, but the whole room was just full of everybody who could sing and play instruments and stuff. I'd never been in a room like that before. And just to hear the sounds that were generated and the harmonies and the joy in the room. And open mic was every Sunday, and it started at 9 o'clock every Sunday. And it was hosted by Miss Melanie Daniel, shout out. Cheryl Pepsi Riley, salute. And my man, Mr. Ron Grant. I'll never forget, man. And they were so warm and friendly and inviting. Like I said, it just felt like I felt at home. And so the first night I didn't sing anything. The second time I went there, I performed, and I was nervous, man. But I just got there and did my thing, and it was cool. I appreciate it. And by that time I started networking because I was doing music, I was doing demos and stuff with my boy Marshall. Shout out to Marshall Leathers, producer extraordinaire. oYES. FAXY from VA. oYES. UVA, that is. And Chesapeake, Virginia, 757. You already know. But yeah, like just being there in New York, grinding, being in the studio, at Sony, and then doing the open mics, and just also just getting to know the area because I was thinking about moving to New York and getting a job up there and all that. So I was just on the train all the time, walking everywhere, getting lost, meeting people, networking, passing out music and stuff. It was just an awesome time. One time I went in there and I was dressed because I knew I was going to perform, and I think I had on all black. And I was going to sing, and I knew I was going to sing Michael Jackson, Rock With You. I knew it. And so I was there early just to make sure I had the band, and I could tell the band to play any song. They played everything. And they played it well, extremely well. And so I remember being there, sitting down, close to the stage. I was talking to some girls and all that. Then all of a sudden, and this is right before the open mic really got going. And all of a sudden, I hear this, these shrieks coming from the entrance, and then all of a sudden it just broke out into screams and claps and stuff like that. I turn around, Denzel Washington walking in the door, man. Him and he had a few people with him, but it was just at that moment. And he was already my favorite. You know what I'm saying? So I had no idea, and I forgot. Somebody told me while I was there, while I kept coming back, they were like, if you're trying to get on, you know, with music and everything, you need to just show up. Just show up and sing and perform, just network. The next thing you know, you might be on tour, you might be singing background, you might be in a studio session. You never know who you're going to meet at the Village Underground. Shout out to the Village Underground, by the way. I hope y'all still doing the open mics, because it changed my life. So anyway, Denzel comes in, and I'm just like, and I'm sitting there with my back towards the, you know, pretty much towards the stage, and so he's coming in this way, and I just happen to turn around, and I'm like, oh man, he walks down the stairs behind me to his seat, and I'm just sitting there like, oh man. First thing I thought of was my mom and dad, my family. And I was like, man, I wish they were here, man, because I'm about to kill this joint. I'm about to blow this whole joint. I'm about to rip this song, man. I'm about to give this thing everything I got. Yo, that's Denzel. And I was like, thank you, God, yo. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I was so hyped. I couldn't even contain myself. So right before I sang, I went over there and talked to him. And I introduced myself and everything. And people were still screaming and everything. And I remember clear as day his voice. You know, I dapped him and everything. And I just said, you know, Mr. Washington, I just want to let you know that, man, you're the greatest, man. I really appreciate you and everything that you've done. I love your work. And, man, I hope you enjoy my performance. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to press him or nothing like that. I just wanted him to enjoy my show. He said, all right, okay now. And the way he sounded, I was like, yo, that's just like the movie, yo. I could hear his voice clear as day. And I was like, man, it just sounded just like all his work, man. Like all the movies and everything. So anyway, I get up there and I sing. I do, you know, Michael Jackson and everything. And I do my show, and he's clapping and everything like that, you know, smiling at me and everything. I'll talk to him a little bit more. And I go back to my seat because I just wasn't trying to like hover or nothing like that. But on the way out, he made sure he stopped by where I was, and you know we said goodbyes and everything, and everybody else was screaming and everything like that. And I could hear him say, easy now, easy now. And it was just crazy. His voice pierced through all the noise. It was just so clear and beautiful, man. Just like my dad's. And that's what got to me. As soon as he walked past, I was thinking about the night, just hours later, and because I couldn't really go to sleep. And I was like, why does that voice just sound so pure and so like familiar? It was beyond the movies, but he did remind me of my dad. Anytime I had a conversation with my dad, and it was just one of those like subtle tones, it reminded me, Denzel's voice reminded me a lot of my dad's. And he's a PK, I'm a PK. Like the lines of symmetry and his delivery, doing the research just made me think about that. So anyway, that's my Denzel Washington story. I'll never forget that night. Forever grateful that he was actually like gracious and kind. I wasn't expecting anything else, but it was just so cool to just be there. And to also know that he was at the first Obama inauguration before everybody else, and I saw him out there just folded, just like arms folded, just waiting for it. Just like sitting there the whole time, just waiting for Obama to come, for the whole thing to start. He was just, soaking it all in. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Black Facts. And of course, like I said, we celebrated the GOAT, the greatest actor of all time, Sir Denzel Washington. Tune in tomorrow. It's going to be February 28th, the last day of February, but not necessarily the end of Black Facts. Because remember what I say, Black history is world history. Black history is always happening. It's every day, baby. All day, every day. As long as I'm alive, it's Black Facts, baby. Oh, yes. Take care of yourselves and each other. And you already know, Peace.